I'm farming here since I left school when I was 20 years of age, and I was farming with my mum and dad. They're since retired, even though my mum still does work on the farm. We moved here in the early 80s, and we've gradually built the process up to where it is today. So at the moment we're milking close on 300 cows. We were milking cows in a 20-unit herringbone here. We decided that we'd increase the efficiency of the whole operation. So we looked at several options. We had the option of increasing the size of the herringbone, or looking at other options like robots or rotary. So I felt personally that when you look at herringbone, that the maximum efficiency has been reached with one man at about 20 units, and the robots for me weren't an option because the cows would have too far to walk and the numbers are too big financially. And so I choose a rotary based on the efficiency on which they can milk cows and the throughput you can put through per hour basically. From a milking perspective, before, we'll say at peak times, you would milk probably 100 to 120 cows an hour, whereas with the rotary you could milk double that because we went from 20 up to 44. It makes it more efficient for me. It saves me more than an hour a day, morning and evening. That's 2 hours a day. You can utilize that hour whatever way you want, whether that is in the evening, you can have more time with your family, so you have a better lifestyle. If you want to go someplace, you can go. Like this year we were at the Tullamore show, and we had nobody to milk the cows. Well, we didn't have somebody arranged to milk the cows because it was a last minute decision to go there. And we arrived back and it was at 6:30, but we were still finished at 8 o'clock inside at home having supper. When I was looking for a parlour to change it, I wanted something robust, something reliable, something tough that would last the test of time. I looked at all the options that were there. There were several companies offering their parlours and so on, and I choose GEA because I just felt that they had what it took. They had the technology and they had the expertise, and they also had a parlour that was robust and that will stand the test of time, because obviously look, you're dealing with a lot of moving parts and stuff like that in the rotary, and I just felt that this was for me. So when I was choosing rotary, I suppose I had the decision, what size do I go with? Was it a 44, was it a 50, was it a 55 or 60? And I felt personally that at 44, one man can comfortably milk the cows and do the job properly. Whereas when you go up the numbers to 50 and 60, you need probably 2 people to comfortably milk the cows. Obviously you can do it. 40 to 44 seems to be ideal for a one-man operation. And to milk in a rotary is far easier to milk in a herringbone. There's a lot less walking. Everything is at your fingertips. You're like a pilot in a cockpit basically. You can milk them at your ease. The cows come to you, and all you have to do is assess the cow. Is she healthy? Is she good? Connect the cluster and away she goes, and the machine does the rest. When I did install the parlour, I chose to put in a fully automated rotary. I went with automatic metering and an automatic ID and so on and so forth, because I have a Holstein herd here, a fairly high production Holstein herd, and I just wanted to feed the cows relative to their ability. I just decided that I'd put in all of the extra little bits and pieces so that I could maximise the efficiency of the cows going forward. From the beginning, I felt that GEA were very easy to work with. They were easy to work with during the sales period, during the implementation, during the construction phase, their ideas. And from an economic perspective, I felt GEA offered me the most for what I was getting. Due to that perspective, even going forward, that's why I choose to work with GEA as a company. GEA have established a service hub in the Cork area. They have a number of technical guys there. They service the machine if there's any issue, or if I need any backup, there's no problem. They're on the phone, there's no problem at all. The cows, when we started milking in it, they adjusted quite easily. I was impressed with how easily they adapted. I'd say after the first day, pushing on a few, 90% came on the second and third milking, and by the fourth and fifth milking there was only a handful of cows that you had to physically push on. Now, provided they're managed correctly, 95% of the cows will enter the parlour in their own good time. You're only dealing with a small few, and that's without a backing gate. The cow enters of her own free will. She enters onto the table. Whoever's milking assesses the cow, cleans her or whatever, teat sprays her, and then connects the cluster. And she goes off on her merry way, and the computer does the rest. It records her milk yield, it feeds her according to yield, and When the cluster disconnects from the cow, it will teat spray automatically. So technically all the jobs that a man was doing before, like teat spraying the cow and so on and so forth, teat spraying or drafting the cow or feeding the cow, that's all done automatically on this GEA rotary, which saves time and saves labour, which are crucial, and makes it easier for the man so he can concentrate on the important job of assessing the cow, make sure she's healthy and fit for milk. If you look at, say, in the old herringbone, we were milking up to 3 hours a day at peak. From my perspective, the cows were in the yard for anything up to two and a half to 3 hours maybe at peak, morning and evening. So they were spending probably up to 5 to 6 hours standing on concrete every day. Now that time is reduced by half, and there's several benefits to this. Like, I mean, you have the benefit of less cleaning in the yard, less slurry to dispose of, and the cows are in the field where they should be grazing and lying down content.